Hi, my name is Peter Ellis. This is about maple syrup from Newton Robinson in Ontario, Canada. It's all about how we make it. First of all, a little bit about myself. I've been doing this for more than 20 years as a hobby. I have it so I can have fun, get fit, and make from 1 to 100 liters. That's all that this video will be about. The main reason for doing the video is so I can help others avoid the stupid mistakes that I've made. I've made enormous numbers of stupid mistakes, and you will say to yourself as you watch it, oh, I would never make that mistake, but you watch it. For example, when you use a chainsaw and you put the chain on backwards. Very easy to do, I discovered, and it doesn't cut very well at all. So, if I can help you avoid my stupid mistakes, see, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and you will very soon discover that. Now, I do have a Master of Science degree from McGill in Montreal, and I was the president of Peachtree Manufacturing for 20 years. I have biology interests, I have interest in business, and that's why I have really enjoyed the whole business of combining the business of making maple syrup with the biological activity in the woods, enjoying the trees, and trying to keep fit for the last 20 years. The video is 4 parts. The first is planting, and that's where you'll see the general things that we do. And part 2 is the tools that we use. And part 3 is going into the woods and getting the right wood so that it is appropriate for you. And the very last is in March, producing the stuff and actually showing you how we apply all the tools that are useful for you. Part 1, making maple syrup in Newton Robinson. When you find maple trees, you're all set, but first of all you have to find which type of tree is the best. And right now I want to show you how I found the maple trees here in this little patch of woods. I read a little book, and it said if you want to find out what trees are in the area, you go to your handy dandy colored tape. Here is a ribbon that I have used to wind around trees that I want to tap. Now, I came into this little patch of woods. I did exactly what this direction gave me from the book, and I wrapped it around tree after tree after tree, and suddenly I discovered, to my great surprise, that this was an ideal little area for making small amounts of maple syrup. It was superb, and the reason I'm surprised is that my parents lived here for 20 years before I came along here, and holy smokes, they never used it. They didn't even know the sugar bush was here. But this was obviously planned 100 to 200 years earlier. At any rate, so I found the sugar bush by wrapping colored tape around the trees that I wanted to tap. Not all maple trees should be tapped. This is a nice little maple tree. The bark is fairly smooth, but the size of the tree is not big enough, and we have to let this tree just grow and grow for maybe another 3 or 4 years, 5 years, and it'll be superb as a tree to tap. Here's a maple tree that just a few years ago, maybe what, 5 years ago, it used to be a tree in training. And this tree in training has grown, probably another 3 or 4 or 5 inches in diameter. But it's a superb one right now, and we will be putting 2 taps into this in March, and we know we will do very well because we have previously been using it for 1 tap. This is a superb maple tree. We can get 3 taps on this tree because it's very mature, and you notice that the bark is quite heavily indented here, so that when you do the tap, you have to put the drill in farther than in a very young tree that's, say, a tree in training that only has 1. The easiest way to identify a maple tree, and remember it should be a sugar maple tree, is with the shape of the leaf. The leaf is 5 lobes. The center one is a little bit taller, the 2 on the sides farther down, and then the last ones are on the sides. Maple leaves come in all sizes. They do have different shapes, but this is a typical one with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the little pointy things on the end of each of them, they are called lobes or pointy things from me.